Are you ready to read? Here we go! Inside School. Chapter 1, Mrs. Scorf. Mrs. Scorf had long tongue and pointed ears. She has the mean teacher in Inside School. She joined in class of the greatest story. If you turn in the bag, she warned. Or, if you answer a problem wrong, I wiggle my ears and dig out of my tongue and turn it into apples. Mrs. Scorf didn't like children, but she loved apples. Joe couldn't act. He couldn't even count, but she knew it if he answered a problem wrong. He looked betrayed onto the apple so he coming from John. He didn't like to chip those. Mrs. Scorf had no idea to act. One day, Mrs. Scorf was copying John paper. She wiggled her ears, first the right one and the left, and stuck her tongue and turned Joe into an apple. Oh, it was so scared and mean teacher had ever seen it. And she turned John to the apple so for letting Joe count. Hey, that isn't fair, said Todd. John was only trying to help Fran. Mrs. Scorf wiggled her ears, first the right one and the left one, and out of the tongue and turned the toad into an apple. Does anybody else have an orphanage? She said. Nobody is worried. Mrs. Scorf laughed in the place and 3 apples on the desk. Stephen tried to cry. He doesn't help it. He was scared. I don't like crying in the classroom, said Mrs. Scorf. She wiggled her ears, first the right one and the left, and stuck it to her tongue and turned the stuffing into an apple. Oh, not again, lots of children changed it into an apple. And for the rest of the day, the children was absolutely quiet. And they was trying to go home. They was too scared even to talk to their parents. But Joan, Todd, and Stephen couldn't go home. Mrs. Scorf just left them on the desk. They was able to talk each other, but they didn't have much to say. Their cousin was very worried. They would know where the children were. Nobody seemed to know. And the next day, Pretty was late for school. So she walked, and Mrs. Scorf turned into an apple. Post grade, so in class, he was turned into an apple. Nancy said, God bless you. When the post grades, Mrs. Scorf wiggled her ears, first the right one and the left, stuck her tongue and turned Nancy into an apple. Oh, it's so mean, teacher. Trina fell out a chair and turned it into an apple. Patricia turned into a rain, and as she was halfway to the door, Mrs. Scorf's right ear began to wiggle. When they reached from the door, Mrs. Scorf let her wiggle. Patricia opened the door and had food outside, but Mrs. Scorf stuck out her tongue. Marcia became an apple. Oh no! What not good news? Mrs. Scorf picked up the apple from the floor and on it to her desk to another. There was 46 that happened. Mrs. Scorf turned and fell over pieces of junk. Oh, what a funny news! And the 3 acts laughed. And there was actors for your teacher into the classroom. There was Mrs. Children at recess. There was Mrs. Scorf was a mean teacher. So they came out there in batches, and there is one of Mrs. Scorf asked. I must be wrong, I thought. And there will be a good teacher if so many children being an apples. And the back on the playground, there are many more children returning into apples. Blues, you're the teacher, and there will be some 24 apples for Mrs. Scorf's task. And there's only 3 children left in class. So there must be a teacher in word. It was right. She was a week of the teacher was Mrs. Scorf very happy. Now I can go home, she said. I can't to teach anymore. I want to have walked in a dirty fight up the stairs ever again. You're not going anywhere, you're not. And she has jumped up the desk, both of Mrs. Scorp's nose. And there's just apples followed. And Mrs. Scorp fell on the floor, and the apples jumped over. Stop, she said. I turned it into an apple juice. But there had apples. Don't stop. Mrs. Scorp did nothing about it. Turn it back into the children, told them, and Mrs. Scorp choice, and their tongue wiggled their ears, and this last one, and first to unripe, and turn the apples to the children. All right, said Maria, let's go get loose. He won't know what to do. No, screamed Mrs. Scorp. I turned it to apple juice. And they turned it into legal airs, and first Sir Ryman and they laughed, and they should have had a tongue, but an entrance of the mirror, and Mrs. Scorp stuck himself on an apple. The children didn't know what to do, but they didn't have a teacher, but told them Mrs. Scorp mean. But they sang right of an apple, but know about how wiggle the ears. And their littlest teacher was walk in, and there's Mrs. Scorp and asked. Nobody was warned. Boy, I'm hungry, said Luz. I don't think Mrs. Scorp will remind of our eat apple. After all, she's always so many. He picked up the apple and reached really Mrs. Scorp shelled up his short and ate it. Oh no! They lost a children with apple, but Mrs. Scorp ate the apple. Now, what not good news? And chapter 2 right now, and tomorrow we're starting chapter 2 and the end of chapter 3. And one more time, we started the reading about it. Nate the Great, where are you? Chapter 1, and too many cases. My name is Nate the Great. I am a detective. My dog Slush is a detective too. We have been together for a long time. We have been eating pancakes and most solving the case together. Slush wasn't on my first case, but he has been with me on all my cases since the day I find him and filled. Sometimes we have too many cases. Today I'm eating pancakes. Slush was crunching bone and eating the best part of the day, I said. Today we have the 5 cases do not want. And you do want, listen. Slush ears pick it up. First case, I said, Rosamond and me to find a missing trunk, and there was soon an array. Second case, Abby said she could and found out a special dog Two-Face and making the tea look shiny and hungry. She said, oh, but Slush will be entirely because she has so many cases to solve. And third case, Claude, who was always listening to things, just told me one anything special to find away. You're a great detective, Claude said. Find me just a great found. Something really, really special. For a case, Slush looked bored. Too many cases, I said. And Rosamond and Annie and found a Claude was Harry, all of us. I said, we must escape. I run over Mother, dear Mother, today, and Nate the Great and Slush will be going up 5 cases. So I will be fast as I could to back. Love, Nate the Great. Slush and I walked to the back door. We are going to the dances for a detective story, I said. We will walk fast. And chapter 2, you perfect the test. And for starting chapter 2 and the end of chapter 3. And did you have fun? You must look to comment about a book, and you must goodbye and I want you to goodbye to the Scary Inside School goodbye to, and teacher, Mrs. Scorch, goodbye. And we lost the children goodbye too. And they Nate the Great goodbye. And Nate the Great and Slush goodbye too. And 5 Kisses goodbye too. And Slush goodbye. And I'm so sad because of you're not observing my YouTube. So the videos are the end. You can observe my YouTube as fast as you could.